Hello, everyone, and welcome to the weekly Oracle Wisdom. My name is Natalie, and we are going to have a look at what the Oracle cards have to tell us for the energies for the week ahead. Before I get into this, I just need to say Anne and I just finished an incredible episode of Gemini Rising with another Gemini Rising, Jai Gobend, and we talked about astrology and human design and ancient Egypt, and it was such a Gemini rising conversation, and I so thoroughly enjoyed it. So I'll put the link below so that you can all check it out. And of course, we are halfway through the month. It is the 16th as I'm recording this. So make sure you go back and watch the February monthly reading just to either rewatch what the reading initially said for you, or in case you haven't watched it. Okay, so let's get into this. We are starting with the clarifying life situations. This is a MahrukhX deck. I knew as soon as I woke up, and I've been saying this a lot recently, but it's interesting. I wake up on a Monday, and often my first thought is what decks I need to be using. So, okay, we're just going to pull a few of them out. Okay, so the first card out is wide open. The path before you is clear. Your desires and intentions are supported by the universe. No blocks, open path, yes. Sorry about that. Of course, everybody decides to call me the moment I'm live. Okay, so then we have explore options, explore new opportunities, and look into other options that you may have not noticed before. Choices, opportunities, refocus. One last move. You have come far on your journey. Keep going, and you will soon see what you have accomplished. Last step, almost there and close. And then we have a fresh start. This new chapter will require you to take a leap of faith in the process which is in front of you. New beginnings, new possibilities. Okay, so look, I feel like these cards coming out right now are absolutely perfect in terms of we have the lunar new year starting tomorrow, which is February 17th. So we are on our last day of the year of the snake, and we are moving into the fire horse. And then also we have this big conjunction on Friday between Neptune and Saturn at 0 degrees of Aries. So technically they're already conjunct, but the exact conjunction is happening on the 20th. So this whole thing about being wide open and a fresh start, to me, is very apt for this week and these energies. We have so much that is shifting, and I think so many people think that the end of a calendar year, which the Gregorian calendar is, December 31st moving into January 1st, and that's a new year, and we talk about resolutions and everything like that. And I always say that there are so many new beginnings in the year, and I always think of the new year as we know it and celebrate it in the Western world. Then we have the Chinese New Year, and that is a fresh start because obviously the Lunar New Year. Then we have our solar return, our birthdays, and that coming through. And yes, Avante Alice in the chat is saying we've got the eclipse. That's happening tomorrow. So we're going to have the Ring of Fire with that. So we have all of this going on. So it makes sense that energetically what we're going through is so big. So it is a time to capitalize on the new energy that is coming in and refocus what direction we need to go in. And the reason I talk about all these different starting points is because if January 1st up until this moment hasn't gotten you through to where you want to be in this moment, it's absolutely fine. This is like the next starting point. So you can start from here. The other thing is, I've been talking for the last couple of months about essentially treading water and being in a holding pattern. And that's been going on because it's like a hangover from the end of 2025. And for me, I've always felt like this is the beginning of where things are really going to kick off. So we have this opportunity right now to have all of these possibilities in front of us and really be able to delve into what's going on and explore what is possible. So when you've got these things being open, you can start to explore and go, right, what is going to work for me? What direction do I want to move in right now? With that being said, again, we haven't finished the new year up, we haven't finished the year of the snake up just yet. So that is happening. But there may be just a couple of finishing touches that you need to add to what it is you've been working on. So just know that as you're stepping into these new things, you're closing doors behind you. So you'll be able to see the fruits of your labor. You'll be able to see what it is you have accomplished, and you'll be able to put that final piece in. And it's so satisfying. I'm not a jigsaw girly, never have been, but I will happily work on jigsaws with other people. And each piece that you get in is so satisfying, so satisfying, so satisfying. But that final piece going in and having the complete picture in front of you, completed and perfect, is the most wonderful feeling. So you should have that feeling of completion at some point this week. And then what card comes out straight after that? A fresh start. So this is a week of exploration, beginnings, and with all of that, you have to tie up those loose ends. I'm going to pull two more. Oh, there we go. And we talk about all of these energies in the episode of Gemini Rising with Jay Gobend. I just cannot say how much I enjoyed that episode enough. Okay. So then we got Golden Monument. A blessing is on its way. An important door is opening for you that will make you very happy. Rare, once in a lifetime, and special. So this new chapter that we are stepping into, and these opportunities that are going to ramp up for us, and this new energy of Saturn and Neptune in Aries, is really going to create some incredible moments for us to be able to expand our life and sort of go beyond where we have been. And I think this is really, really exciting. And the very beginning of our show, we talked about these new energies of Saturn and Neptune in Aries because Anne was running herself ragged, taking care of stuff. I had a crazy day, and I made a joke about how getting to the start time of 3 p.m., it was like running a marathon. And Jai said to me, like, how far away from work do you live? And I went, no, I had to go from my bedroom to here. But in between, I had 30 things going on that I had to deal with, each and every one of them. And we ended up discussing it on the show. And I said, is this what we're stepping into? And she went, yes, this is this fire energy, and it's the year of the fire horse. So while I think that it's going to be a lot as these energies ramp up and we adjust, because these two planets have been sitting in Pisces, which is water, and moving it into fire, moving into the year of the fire horse, we have all this fire energy coming in. And so there's going to be an adjustment period, but I think it's incredibly exciting for how it's going to shift our world as a whole and also for us individually. And then we have the final card from the Clarifying Life Situations is Joyful Chapter. Take pride in your accomplishments, celebrate and enjoy your life. Fate is on your side. Happiness, fulfillment, and joy. Honestly, I don't think that we could ask for a better reading in terms of you know, how this week is going to look. I do think it's exciting. I think it's great when we have the opportunity to explore versus being in that holding pattern. I think it's exciting when there are new things that are opening up for us and anything is possible. The question is, are you going to take the opportunities or the open doors that are offered, or are you going to sort of slink away in fear of shifting what's been going on? So what I'll say to you is, if fear is what's winning, think back to these two cards that have come out, the golden moment and the joyful chapter. Enjoy what's happening. Enjoy the exploration. Enjoy what is opening up and celebrate each little win. Because remember, when we go off and we start exploring, sometimes things don't work immediately. And what we have to remember is that when these things don't work, it's because it's showing us or redirecting us to the way that is meant to work. So celebrate all of it. Celebrate it all and just take joy in it. Oh, okay, here we go. Now we're moving on to the Golden Charms Oracle deck, which is another Mahroukh deck. It's going to do 3, but I keep seeing the number 4. So, okay. Okay. So we have mirror, self-reflection, shadow work, vanity, beauty, seeing the soul. So while we're moving through this, and I think this is in relation to exploring our options, we have to be honest with who we are, what it is we want, and whether we're prepared to go after it. And I think that's part of the shadow work and self-reflection, because it's one thing to say, this is what I want to manifest in this world and this is the life that I want to lead. And it's another thing to actually step into that and own it and go after it with your full chest and full energy. So make sure that you are being honest in that regard. And that goes back to seeing the soul. Now, maybe with the vanity or beauty, there may be things, because often when there's a new start in life, this is where we want to chop our hair or do something, buy a new wardrobe to make ourselves feel better. And so if that's what's going to help you sort of start this next chapter, absolutely go forth and take care of yourself in a way that makes you feel better and makes you feel like you're presenting yourself more authentically to the world. Then we have the male card, male energy, Mars. A man plays a role and divine masculine. So, of course, Aries, the sign of Aries is ruled by Mars, and that is the masculine planet, a masculine energy. But there could be a man that is playing a role in your life this week, whether it be they're stepping in a business capacity, friendship capacity, just I keep hearing the word guide. So I wonder if there's someone coming in that you're going to be able to rely on to, what's the word I'm looking for? I keep losing words today. Almost like a mentor. That's what I think is going to happen, or one of the men in your life is going to sort of step forward and really be a major focus this week. And of course, there is the balance between divine masculine and divine feminine. So it could also be just rebalancing that in yourself. Then we have piggy bank, saving money, being frugal, reservation, saving something for later. So this may be a time where, as excited as we are about the opportunities, we need to be fiscally responsible for what is going on. So make sure you're not just going out there and blowing all your money. So if one of the things that you're doing this week is buying a new wardrobe or looking at redoing your hair, but there's a choice between you know, cutting your hair, coloring it, all of that, and going and spending $2,500, getting a full head of extensions and going down that path if it's money you don't have. So just be fiscally aware this week Yeah, I just think it's not the week to go and blow a ton of money. Then we have 3 people: third party, love triangle, outside interference, external factors. So be aware of who's paying attention, because whenever we are on the precipice of great change, there are always the people that will come and tell you not to do it. And it's interesting. I was having a conversation with a girlfriend earlier today, and we were talking about somebody that we both knew. And because I always tell the story about when I was moving to the US and all these people that said, you can't go, it'll never work. And I couldn't make it work, so you can't make it work. This girlfriend was talking to me about homeschooling her children. And when she first talked about homeschooling her kids, this friend came along and said, oh, you couldn't possibly, and essentially lectured this other woman on why she couldn't homeschool her children, why it would never work. And the reality is, this friend that I was chatting to today never listened to the advice that she was given, because it wasn't advice that she asked for. And okay, there we go. It wasn't what she asked for. She ended up going ahead and doing what she had planned to do anyway. And she said it's been the most wonderful and rewarding experience of her entire life. And it's worked so well for her family. Now, what works for one doesn't necessarily work for another. But the point of this is, if you have somebody that is paying attention and giving you advice that you have not asked for, that you know is coming from their place of fear, listen to it. You don't have to destroy a relationship over it, but hear what they're saying. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, and move on. It doesn't need to be anything more than that. You are free to go do what you need to do. Now, if this is a mentor and they're giving you some really solid information that is relevant and that you should listen to that. But I'm talking about these people that are running interference and that they exist in fear, so they want you to do the same. So just pay attention to all of that. Then we're finishing up with the Spirit Animal Oracle, which is Colette Baron-Reid. And I love this. And you'll see from my thumbnail, I'm surrounded by deer in a field. And it's always so beautiful when that happens. So our first card out is Dolphin Spirit. This and that are true. So this is the whole thing, right? Talking about the interference of the third party. For the people that are offering you the advice that they're giving you that you didn't ask for them, what they're telling you you need to do, it either worked or didn't work for them. But that doesn't mean that that is true for you. Two things can be true at once, and they don't have to fit together. So just remember as you're moving through that your experience isn't somebody else's isn't yours. And you need to just be able to go with the flow. And there is a freedom where dolphins exist, where they move through and they're not bothered by anything else that is going on around them. They're just doing their thing. Then we have Wasp Spirit. Sometimes life stings. So on a personal note, I hate wasps. Hate them. You want to hear me squeal, put a wasp near me and you'll see me squeal and run away at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Look, sometimes life can be a problem. And I know that as we are transitioning in these energies of the outer planets, moving signs, and this conjunction that's happening, it can feel like a lot, and these transitions can often be bumpy. And to me, I look at this reading, and to me, it's so positive. But like I said, this third party and the self-reflection, the shadow work, I feel like the sting is going to come from, we're so excited moving forward, and the sting is somebody else coming in and trying to give their 2 cents worth. I think the sting is we start exploring a direction that we think, okay, this is where I need to move, and it doesn't work. And often we can then go, I'm going to throw my hands up and say, this doesn't work and I don't want to. I think that's the extent of the sting that's coming this week. The other thing is just adjusting to the pace of how things are moving. I mean, things are moving so freaking quickly. What I have had to get done today, and I'm meant to be going to a dance class at 7, and I was so glad when I messaged my girlfriend. She's like, yeah, I'm in Canada this week. I'm like, great, I'm not going. That gives me a reason to not go. Just take those little things that come up. Don't let them affect you the way a wasp sting would. Just see them as a little like the universe giving you a little pinch to make you move differently. So yeah, and I think how you choose to navigate this week will decide whether it is like the universe giving you a little pinch or whether it is that wasp sting. If you choose to move through it in fear and you are afraid of these incredible doors that are opening in front of you, and celebrating the wins and the fact that there are these new opportunities that exist for you, I think that's where you'll feel the sting. Like I said, otherwise they're little redirections that are just going to move you to exactly where you need to be. So all in all, I think this is an amazing week and I'm super excited. I love this energy. I love this go, go, go. I love when change is in the air because it means new and exciting things are going to unfold for all of us individually and as a collective. So I hope this reading resonated with some of you, if not all of you. Like I've said multiple times in this reading, go and check out the last episode of Gemini Rising. I will have the link below here on YouTube so that you can go and check it out. Jai is amazing. And of course, I always love doing Gemini Rising with Anne, who I couldn't be doing this, streaming it live to High Vibe and YouTube without Anne. So I'm always grateful. But take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And I will see you all next week.